All right, now if you guys are writing songs on the guitar, which is, I highly suggest it if you aren't writing songs already, you definitely want to explore your own individual artistic expression. But it's very important to know how diatonic harmony works. All right, now a diatonic harmony is just a fancy way of saying the chords that are in a key. So let's check out in A major, if you just move triads up on one string set, in this case it's going to be on strings 4, 5, and 6. The first chord is A major. That's the 1 chord. The second chord is minor, in this case B minor. The third chord is minor. In this case it's C sharp minor. The 4 chord in every key is major, and this is D major. The 5 chord in every key is major. This is E major. The 6 chord is always minor. This is F sharp minor. The 7 chord is diminished, in this case G sharp diminished, and then back to A major. So that formula of being major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished works for every key, all right? Not just for A, but if you took another key such as D major, then you just spell the notes, which happen to be D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and it would just be major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, applied to those pitches. So you'd have D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, and C sharp diminished. All right, so now let's check out diatonic triads as they move up. So we spent all this time checking out major triads and minor triads. Now let's just see how all of those are combined to move up the fretboard in a key. So here we have A major, and the 2 chord B minor, then the 3 chord C sharp minor, then the 4 chord D major, then the 5 chord E major, 6th chord F sharp minor, 7 chord G sharp diminished, and then way up here you have A major again. You can also play those last few chords down here in the first position if you don't have a cutaway like I do up here. So you could play the 5 chord here, the 6th chord here, the 7 chord here, and back to our 1. Next, let's go over harmonizing a melody with triads. So once you have a melody, there's all kinds of ways that you can spice it up by harmonizing it with chords. So let's first just check out like a bare bones melody here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now let's harmonize that simply by playing root position triads that are moving around with that melody as the bottom note. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next time, let's take that melody an octave higher and play it on the thinnest E string. And so these will actually all be first inversion chords that we'll play for the bass. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now that we've worked on triads a little bit, let's see how we can spice up a chord progression using different triad sets. So this next progression is just a bare bones, simple progression that's in the key of C. And once we go through that, I'll show you other ways of spicing it up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in order to understand how the different triads and inversions work, let's check them all out in the key of C. Let's just look at these 3 strings, string 2, 3, and 4, and how they move up the neck. Just starting out with root position triads that are diatonic. Let's start out with C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished. So those are all root position triads. Now, first inversion triads. So that's the first inversion of C major, and then to first inversion D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and back to C major. Now for the second inversion of triads on that same string set, you have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and then back to C major. All right, so let's mix up some of those different inversions so that we have, again, voice leading, moving the least possible distance between all those triads. So our progression before went F major, A minor, C major to G major. So let's see the different ways that we can kind of combine those and move the least possible distance, staying on those three strings. Strings 2, 3, and 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.